Behold, how pleasant, how good and how pleasant it is when brethren can dwell together in unity. I pray, Father God, that everything that's done tonight, Lord, will be done in unity, in one mind and one spirit, God, for the good of this county. God, this great county that you've given us. I ask you, Father God, that you give them wisdom to make the right decisions. Lord, you said if any man lack wisdom, let him ask of God, and you'll give it liberally. And so, Father, I just ask, Lord, that wisdom will come forth. Good things will come into our county. Father, I thank you, Lord, for your favor upon this fiscal court. Lord, Father, I thank you that money will come into them, Father, from places that they didn't expect to get things done they want to get done to make our county better. Let it be better for the people. So, Father, we just ask those blessings upon them. We just thank you for the decisions they make, and we just give you glory for it. We just ask it all now. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mike.
Do the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk, call the roll.
Sid Wyman.
Here.
Darrell Hart.
Here.
Cornell Baxter.
Here.
Joe Bailey.
Here.
Greg Allen.
Here.
Josie Bailey. Here.
All right. Next item on the agenda is to consider approve the minutes from the previous meetings, regular meeting on July 21st and the special meeting on August the 14th. Is there any changes, corrections, or additions to the minutes? Hearing none, I entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
Make the motion.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Made and seconded, further discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. Motion carries. All right, is there any reason we shouldn't pay the bills? Hearing none, bills will be paid. Don't have any fund transfers, is that correct?
Correct.
Balances are doing pretty good and the expenses are down. So, for the first time, I think, since I've been a Magistrate County judge, we're not doing fund transfers. That's a good thing. All right. Next on the reporting side, we have the Treasurer's monthly report. Is there any questions on that? Treasurer's here. Hearing none, receive that. Treasurer's annual financial report. That's for last fiscal year, July the 1st, 2019 through June the 30th of 2020. Have any questions or comments on that? Did the author say we have to make a motion to accept it, or just acknowledge it that's been presented?
Just acknowledge it.
I think it's proper under parliamentary procedure also. Hearing none, we'll move on to the next report. Departmental reports. Deputy Judge Howard's here. Got several things going on.
We do. Top of the list is 911 load, right? Generator has been installed and tested. We were on generator power for 10-15 minutes the other day. Worked perfect. No courthouse, no glitches. And it's ready for 911 to go live, which will be tomorrow. Probably between 9 and 10 sometime. We're going to do some tests on it. Have some people call in. So it's going to be going live tomorrow, which is great and big accomplishment. Anybody got any questions on that other than everything's testing out great so far? And we had a couple of companies here already doing some tweaking to the system and making sure everything's going to be right for tomorrow. We had some training today too, that we trained, the dispatchers.
When does the personnel move in?
Tomorrow. Yep. County road signs, we have put some signs up, but most of them haven't been put up because we are doing so much other stuff like the bridges and, we've been resurfacing roads, which most of that took some of our excavator power away. It's going to be done when time allows. We'll get to it as soon as we can. We've got so many summer projects to complete. Community center, we've had a few problems over there. We had to put a new heat pump in our handler in the senior citizens dining room. That pretty well completes the AC, the air conditioner, and air handlers and stuff over there. We're pretty well new on just about all of them.
The building's about it.
Yeah, new hot water heater. We had to install one of those. We had one over there that was 16 years old. That started leaking, of course, like they all do. We replaced it. and that was for the restroom areas, the public restrooms, and the office. So we had to have that. We have received a floor cover and a roller system for the gym so we can protect our paint. So when we have a reunion or a large event, roll that out and cover it up. We can put chairs on it, tables on it, and protect it. So we protect our investment on the paint.
Good idea.
Okay. Bridge replacement. Of course, the B tree, Will Bailey Branch, Frank Williams box cover is being constructed. The Will Bailey Branch cover has been placed in the stream, and they're working on the wing walls. So when they get the wing walls done, we'll start filling it in so the community can attract.
That's Frank Williams.
Frank Williams.
Yeah.
Frank Williams. I said it wrong, I'm sorry. Correction, Frank Williams. And we'll be open to traffic soon. Hopefully, by the end of the week, we'll be pretty good on it. And then we're gonna go to, let's see, we'll be going to Bailey Branch next on it, and then B tree. And they go in the stream pretty fast now. We're getting pretty good at that. Battlefield restrooms. Restrooms, as far as construction, they're constructed, but we got a couple of trim and door issues, and we had to just put the gutters and the downspouts on, and I thought they were telling me they were going to do that today. So we'll be opening those up soon. We got to fill a little bit around it with some gravel to bring the elevation up because we had the elevation we had to put it on. Courthouse, we've installed a transaction window in the clerk's office. And I think everybody's well pleased, and everybody's using it outside. I mean, they're really using it a lot, and it keeps our workers safe.
Yep, everybody's safe.
Yeah, and we're working on a canopy quote for that service window. It'll be approximately 25 feet long, and it'll cover the whole walk, and it'll protect everybody from the elements. So I should have those back in a couple of weeks, and we can get everybody out of the rain and the sun and all that stuff. So I should be getting that back soon. Anybody got any questions?
Yeah, the bridge life expectancy of the bridges.
I've confirmed the life expectancy on the bridges is 75 years. They're made out of aluminum. They're not the old galvanized pipes that rust and fall away. The company says 75 years on the bridges.
We need to check maybe for the some reserved parking for the clerk's office. We talked about earlier about maybe getting some in case.
Well, the thing about that parking lot is it belongs to the mayor, to the city, the parking lot on that side. So that's something that we'd have to talk about, I guess, in conjunction.
We do run into issues when we get court dates. It's just an issue because there's not a lot of parking in town.
Yeah, especially on our side.
Right.
It goes pretty fast, and back behind too. But we are going to designate, right, Matt, a couple of parking places for 911.
Yeah.
That Matt and I already talked to. I've already got a sign to put up there to keep our 911 people. They'll be parked there all the time anyway, most times. But we'll make sure it's designated for them. So we already talked about that. So anything else, John? Darwin?
Sounds good. You're doing a good job.
All right.
Just a couple of things. The community center, I was alerted today that there's some folks out there that have got a petition going for us to open it up so they can play ball. And while I respect that and I appreciate that people getting involved and wanting things like that to open and use, the COVID situation just will not permit it. As much or more than anybody wants that opened as soon as possible. We spent a lot of money. We've made it the showplace of town now, and I'd like for it to be used. But I'm not going to let it be used and kill off half the county. And that's just plain and simple. So, but I recognize the petition that people started. There's like 70-something clickers, they signed it or whatever online, and I respect that. But safety first. On those box covers, I was down yesterday to watch them put the Frank Williams one in the creek, and that's something to see. Kind of made me a little bit nervous after a few minutes, but them guys, we got a great crew. They done a great job, and they set it in there. They worked over to get it done yesterday so that they could finish up the wing walls today and put the dense grade and gravel on tomorrow. And those folks are going to have a nice place. A nice bridge that they don't have to worry about concrete trucks, gas trucks, garbage trucks refusing to dump across them. No weight limit on those things. And be there 75 years, none of us live to see it rust out or be replaced. All right, next item, committee reports. Again, our committees are not meeting because obviously we can't put those folks together. Hopefully we'll be able to do that soon. Under new business, 4A, the first thing is the CARES Act funding procedures and amounts. In your book, if you'll flip through 4A, I've got a proposed budget, and we need to go through that and kind of, so everybody has an understanding how we're going to spend this money. All right. The first thing, and it's already been ongoing, we've already got some reimbursement back, $87,000 reimbursement so far. Some of that goes to the facility workers and the cleaning staff that we've hired at the Justice Center here at the courthouse. Those are the folks that are at the door. We got them going around the facility too, cleaning all the high-touch areas. We've got, we're looking to take one of those folks on non-court days and detail them to the parks at Bloomington and at Half Mountain, so that we can make sure that the tables and the new restroom that we got up there will be sanitized, and the portable restroom that we have down in Bloomington. The next item is the tel workstations. All the staff here in the judge's office, director level and stuff, we've been working from home a lot. Anytime we close the courthouse down, we close it down. So we got some laptops to make sure we can do that. I can remote in just like I'm sitting here. So we've got those in. We'll be getting reimbursement on that on the next application. Facility renovations upgrades. Kevin already talked about the bank style window that's out back. We're working on the canopy. We're looking into touchless faucets and light switches, and the possibility of getting some thermal imaging equipment to set at the front doors of the courthouse and the Justice Center. And basically what that is a camera that where everybody walks through the door can take their temperature. We don't have to have nobody standing close to them doing that. It'll do it for us. It will recognize that on the screen. If somebody exceeds what the CDC says it should, we'll ask them not to come in the facility. The next item is the volunteer fire departments and rescue squad. And this is something that just came up. I found out from a neighboring county that they're doing. And it's giving some money to the volunteer fire departments and the rescue squads. Because initially I couldn't find a way to do that. But they ran it through Department of Local Government. They said it was okay with that county, so it'll be okay here. And basically what it does, it allots so much money to the fire departments and rescue squads, and it gives them so much per run, and up to a cap. And this will be through the end of the year. If it looks like some of the fire departments won't be able to get the total allotment, we'll come back and see if by then there'll be another way for us to do it maybe. Okay, so we maybe
So this is paid out once a year?
No, this will be, we can, however they want to build it. The rescue squad's already give me enough runs to get the whole 8,000. And that'll be the $150 a run. We'll do the volunteer fire departments because they're bigger trucks, more fuel, those kind of things, at 200. We could change that at some point to 300 or whatever, just to make sure that we legally can put some money back in their pockets through this CARES Act, because they have lost money through fundraising. We all know that. So that's I think that was a great thing to hear that was okay. The next item, and what a lot of counties are doing, is they're putting it straight into their EMS, which if they have ambulance service, they're paying for that, or they're paying for law enforcement. We're allocating $125,000 that the fiscal court pays for some deputies and all the fringe for all the deputies through the sheriff's office, and this will pay the salary, reimburse the salary and fringe of some of the sheriff department deputies that are road deputies. It doesn't pay for clerks, administrative, nothing. And then the final one, which would be good for our businesses and nonprofits, is $125,000 to the businesses and nonprofits. That'll be $2,000 up to 50 businesses. That's $100,000. Then we'll give $1,000 to the first 25 501c qualified nonprofits. And then we've got 15, 16, 17 at Community Day, and then however many more that may apply. And that way we can help out with that too. Now I've got already what Johnson County, they had already created an application went through and tailored it to our needs. So it's my proposal, that we will open the grant application up on September the 1st and take applications until September the 18th. The first 50 that meet the qualifications will be the first 50 that get it. Should 50 not qualify or 50 not apply by December 31st or sometime in December, when the deadline's over, if we don't get it, before that deadline is up, we will reapportion that pro rata back to them. So it could be they may get a little more. But I would say we've got 50 businesses that they'll qualify. We should have it in the county. And then again, the nonprofits, 25 don't apply. What's left there, we'll divide up amongst those who did apply to qualify. And that pretty much covers all that. Any questions or comments or suggestions or anything, because I'm open to anything that we can do, because this money is here to help. And we want to put it out there in as many different ways as we can to mitigate COVID and to help with the losses that have been incurred in our community.
Does this include the Sargent Fire Department?
They're not a nonprofit, probably. I don't know.
Well, I know they protect Route 40.
Well, if I understand it correctly, what the city's going to do with their money is put it in the fire department.
So don't want to leave nobody out.
No, right, but again, the volunteer fire departments do the fundraising. I know they do too, but as I understand what the mayor told me, they've got a lot smaller allotment than we got. But they're going to put it, because they can zap it every bit up right there at the fire department. Because we actually talked about them participating in the business grants too, and they may carve some of that out too for the cities, where they can maybe instead of being 2,000 for the businesses, that it'd be 2,250 or something. I don't know, but we haven't worked all that out yet. But they are, the Sargent City's going to benefit from the CARES Act, as I understand what they're supposed to be doing. The criteria that the neighbor, Johnson County, is actually the one that I looked at their grant, and I liked it better than some of the others. Some of the others are competitive. I'm not getting in the business of picking one over the other. We'll do this first come, first served till the money runs out. But you have to have a business, be physically located in Magoffin County. Only one application per business, have been open and operating on January the 1st, 2020. Have 20 employees or less, be a small for-profit business, be in good standing with the Kentucky Secretary of State, have to provide a W-9 to the fiscal court so that we can have that on file, must be compliant with the Magoffin County Occupational Tax Ordinance. We'll need a copy with financials blacked out, bank statements to show their legitimate business. And if there is other awards, whether it be payroll protection or small business loan or any of those others that have been awarded to the business, will need to be made aware of that. And there will have to be something submitted saying that this is not duplicated. Because that's one of the things with federal funding, you can't get federal funding for the same thing twice. And then again, on the nonprofits, they just show proof that they're in current good status as a 501c, that they're in good standing with the Secretary of State, that they provide us a list of their officers, and that what the purpose of the proposed funding is. That way we've got something documented, should we be audited, of why did we give it to them. And I think that pretty well covers everything. And like I said, we can get all that in by the 18th, which is a Friday. Monday, have it all tabulated, put together. The next meeting is on that Tuesday. Fiscal court can award them then. We can, I'd love to be able to have them here, but that obviously ain't gonna happen, so we can announce it and make a big deal out of it. Questions, comments? Again, I say this is open for discussion. This is what I put together based on what I've seen talking to county judges and Department of Local Government and stuff over the past couple of months.
Much needed then on that.
Oh, absolutely, and the thing is, we got to do it in bits and pieces, because we got $414,000. We just can't go spend $414,000 waiting on the reimbursement. You know, it come pretty quick. It might take a couple weeks.
Not even that. I think once she submitted it, it was about a week.
Yeah, so it's coming pretty quick.
Yeah.
But I don't want to drain the bank account waiting on somebody else to send me
So
some.
I was gonna ask,
So
what's the
we'll
timeline?
do it. We got this all ends on December 31st. But if we don't have any comments or questions, I'd entertain a motion to approve the CARES Act funding procedures and the amounts.
I make the motion.
All right, we have a motion, we have a second. Made and seconded, any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, no, motion carries. All right. Item 4B is to consider approve auction contract with J.M. Wood to sell the current Keiko Mack truck that we have. We've been paying, what, $82 a month interest only on that big Mack truck. It's a $200,000 truck practically. And it's time to send it to auction. We've got another one already built waiting to be brought in. This contract with J.M. Wood, the auction company in Alabama, guarantees us that no matter what, we're gonna get $124,034 for it. I think we've already done $146,000. So, but we paid interest only, principal still due. So worst case scenario, we could be short. We could have spent $22,000 on a $200,000 truck over a year. But that hasn't happened. What's happens generally is that the trucks are selling between 145 to 152,000. So that truck will sell, and we may even get a check back after we pay Keiko.
Now, even no damage done to the truck.
No, the truck's in great shape. It's, the tires look good. We've changed the oil a couple of times, but it's served us well running back and forth to the quarry.
Yeah.
And we got another, like I said, waiting out with a loading bed that's built here in Magoffin County.
Yeah.
And when we get the next one, we help a local business out by buying off of them too.
Yeah.
These trucks are on state price contracts, so we didn't have to bid it out this year, which is a big plus, saves us money on advertising and everything. But we gotta have this truck, ready to go and down in Alabama on September the 15th. So,
Is that the date of sale?
no, it don't sell until the 22nd, I think, 22nd through the 25th.
Yeah.
It's a big auction. They got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pieces of equipment. But we have to have it down there so they can put it in all the literature and stuff for people to look at. Any questions, comments?
If we'd have bought a new truck and drove it for a year, I'd say that we would have spent more than $20,000.
Oh, if we just leased it straight out, principal and interest, I mean, we'd probably spend about $24,000 to $30,000 a year. We'd have to, maybe more than that. Cause I know lease a grader right now is outrageous. I'm looking
I
for a
think
grader.
the truck bought a big price.
Yeah, it's, because when you're paying principal and interest, all we paid is interest
Yeah.
this whole time. I mean, it's one of them things that sounds too good to be true, but it's all the surrounding counties are doing it. All right, I entertain any further comment on that? I entertain a motion to approve the auction contract with J.M. Wood to sell our current Keiko Mack truck.
I'll make the motion.
Have a motion, have a second.
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded, any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, no, motion carries. All right, now to get the next one. We go through Keiko again. We have to approve a resolution by the fiscal court that basically says a resolution approving a lease for the financing of a project, providing for the payment and security of the lease, authorizing the execution of various documents related to such lease, and making certain designations regarding such lease. I'd entertain a motion to approve the resolution.
I'll make the motion.
Motion made, is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded, any further discussion?
Yeah, this is a tandem,
Triaxle.
triaxle.
Yep.
They, I guess, more demand, is that why you went for the triaxle this time?
Well, that's what we got this time.
Or was it triaxle?
Yeah, they won't hardly let you off the lot down at the quarry if you ain't got a triaxle 25 tons. Yeah, it's triaxle now.
That's all we got to have, all of them down the
Right.
It's safer.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries. Item 4D is the purchase agreement with Worldwide Equipment for the new truck. This agreement values the next one at $146,422. Yeah, sticker price on them is about $190.
That's a Mack.
That's a Mack, yeah. I entertain a motion to approve the purchase agreement for Worldwide Equipment for a new trash reductor.
I'll make the motion.
We have a motion, we have a second. Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. Motion carries. 4E, consider approved petitions for adoption of new county roads. And today, we've been in discussion with another gentleman, and he went ahead and brought in a petition to close the road. This process, one of them is on Painter's Lick. The petition is from Mr. Scott Brashears. You see it's just south of Painter's Lick at mile point 165. Proposed list 175 feet. The next one is from Conchita and David Wheeler on Flat Fork, mile point 13.2 on 1081, 240 feet. And on those two, I think at this point, Greg, am I correct? We need to appoint, if they accept the petitions, to appoint viewers and start that process.
Is there anybody petitioning or challenging this on the road, or?
These are not that I'm aware of.
If it's an agreed to thing that you wouldn't need to do it, if they're all, those that are affected by the road adoption in there. If they're contacted and they're on placement of signed petition, you would need to. And if there's anybody that wants to be heard on it, wants to be, challenge it or anyway, you have to go ahead and do the viewers and all the other.
Okay, so if there's no, like I said, not that I'm aware of, I know that the one with Scott Brashear, that he came down and done it on behalf of him and his neighbor, but they both didn't sign.
Right.
But that will work too.
Yeah.
Okay. So we can.
It's along that road, like I said, it's affected by it. They have to be contacting it, so they're agreeing with it, you're good to go on it.
Okay. All right, well, so here, do we accept the petition to consider it, or do you want to go ahead and adopt them in without even going with that? I've had Ashley's done went out, got the GPS coordinates.
I'm aware of both.
Okay.
And they're wanting to adopt them in, right?
Yeah, and they both serve 2 homes.
I'll make the motion to accept it.
I'll second.
All right, we got a motion to accept the road, the petition from Scott Brashears on Painter's Lick and Conchita and David Wheeler on 1081. Flat Fork, yeah. All right, we have a motion second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those no, motion carries. The petition to close the road is submitted by Walter Carty. This basically is a cemetery road that goes around, it goes to Carty, it's called Carty Combe Cemetery Road. This road is owned, or both sides of the road is owned by Mr. McCarty. He wasn't aware that this was brought into the system at any point in time, and he's asking that we designate it not be a county road.
How many grave sites or how many people do you know?
I'm not real sure. I do know that the deed, as I understand it, has an exemption out for members of the family to go through.
So we can't stop nobody.
Can't stop,
In the
can't, that's right, that's what the deed says.
Yeah.
I've seen that they've been on it before. There is a reservation in there.
The only question that we had when we started looking at it was the possibility that it extended all the way up to where the cemetery is, and it may or may not be a county line, a property boundary there. But that's based upon looking on a PBA map, and we know those lines are not exact, and they'll tell you that. Do we need to, can we accept this one too, or do we need to do the viewers on it?
If he owns both sides of it, he's the only property owner affected, that's the whole key on all this.
Well, what about the, say there's someone, in the past, we've had deals like this where the landowner owned all the property around the road, but then he would try to restrict people from going, visit their family. We've got several.
You're talking about a county road, or you're talking about a
Well,
private
yeah,
road?
this is
You're
county.
only involved in a county road.
If this is to a cemetery.
You're only involved in a county road?
I think we went through this on some other issues, and we got some things that's coming up. I'll just tell you, be ready for it. Where people were saying that they were never put in as a county road ever, and these people on both sides of the road. And then we got people saying, well, they got to take the gate down. When we go to look at and take the gate down, we go through the minutes. We can't find anywhere where it's ever been put in as a county road. There's no deed don't follow, nothing. So then where are we?
The county's been keeping it up.
And that's the thing, it has been, at a certain point, being kept up. We get back into the situation though, whether we kept it up or not, if we go to circuit court, can we prove it's ours?
Yeah.
And that's the thing, that I guess, Greg, you want to explain that a little bit?
And you meet the definition of the county road, which requires this, it had to come through this fiscal court, you all have to adopt it, and come through the minutes of this court and be approved. That's not in there, statute says it's not a county road, I don't care what map it's on or anything else.
I don't prove.
But what about, like I say, what about those we put gravel on?
I'm sure there's a lot of gravel's been put on over the years by different judges.
Right.
To help folks out, and I understand that. Does that make it a county road? That still doesn't meet that definition. If you go to court.
So over the years, it don't matter how long they maintained it, you know.
15 years, continuous, this court has, well, first of all, now remember, this court only acts through what you put in the minutes. It has to be approved, this court has to go ahead and vote on anything that you do, approve it. So you're a court of record. If it's not in the record, it didn't happen. Okay? That's the way it is. So if you go to circuit court, that's what you're gonna run into.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? That's just a law. I don't know that, that's the way it is. Now, there's a lot of it, over the years, like we said, you know, and I understand that. And out of courtesy, the county's helped folks, you know, if they need to cut up there and get somebody for these private cemeteries. And I understand that, but, you ever called past on it? It's pretty true.
But that's my, but again, on a road closure, can we close one if we have worked on it in the last 5 years without going through the process?
It's not a county road, it's 15 minutes. See, it comes back to the definition. Either it's a county road or it's not. If it's a county road, you don't have any authority to close it or anything, because it's not part, it's not in the county road
Right,
system.
but right now, it's in our system as a county road with a
It's
county
on
road
a map,
number,
it's on a map.
and it has been maintained at some point. Right, it's on the list.
You see where I'm coming from? It's on a map, but does that make it a county road? No. Don't say that, read the definition, you know, I'll give you all that time and time again on that. It says nothing about being on a map anymore. It says it has to come to the fiscal court and formal action taken to this court on it, which means you all have to vote on it, put it correct. I can't change it.
What, let's see, where's this located?
This is on, Patton Fork, up on, Stinson.
See, that one was reserved in the deed as a private road in their deed.
Yeah.
This court didn't have to act on it, and they didn't act on it. They didn't act on it.
Okay, so if we don't take action, what do we do about it being on the list? Do we remove it?
Take it off the list.
Just take it off the list?
Let's flip that question around. If he ever said, show me, I was never, it's on a map. Show me where this court adopted it formally and put it in there. This court come up with it. You see where I'm coming, see where I'm coming
Stinson,
from?
would that be Joe or?
Yeah, that's Joe.
Yeah, that should be.
So you wanna check it out, Joe, and talk to people, the family or whatever?
Probably a good idea.
Right, well, I had told him that we wouldn't do this till September anyways, but I wanted to get this out there so that we could start now.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I've talked to Walter, Walter didn't tell me, you know, he's got no problem with none of the family going through any time. Actually, he told me all of them had a key to it. And he had a gate on all of
and
them.
that's why it's got a gate on it too.
So,
You come talk to me before you, I hope, so
Yeah.
I'm looking for these, and everything.
yeah. Yeah, he said there's no problem, anytime anybody wants to live, they have a key to go in.
But he didn't want it over there, yeah, according to what he told me.
He don't want to know nothing, yeah, that's right.
So we just need to table this until September.
That's it.
Or take action, take it off the map, it's on the map somewhere.
Tonight. But do you wanna go look at it first, or do you wanna take action? Huh? You're taking it off. They want to take it. He wants to take it off.
There's some days there somewhere.
Well, according to
There's
him,
that's
according to him, they've got the opportunity to go anytime they want.
Yeah, the deed's on there, and then that becomes a civil matter, right?
That's private matter between them.
Yeah, between them, it goes to the circuit court.
Yeah.
Joe's.
Alright. I entertain a motion to remove it from the map. Is that correct, Greg?
You got, it's on some road map that you got it, or
Okay.
in fact, there's remove it from anything that you got in the records at this point in time.
Okay.
And the road.
I entertain a motion. Second.
I'll second.
Motion made second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those no, motion carries. Now, considering that, we got a new road list. Basically what, I think there's only a couple of changes, in here. One of them is a remeasurement of Carpenter Ridge, and one is the, inclusion of, on Caldwell Road down on, Rock House.
Now, what did you say about Carter Reed?
It actually went and remeasured it
Yeah.
and verified the measurement. I'll mark that in there somewhere.
What is the measure?
Let me find it, I'll mark it. 'Cause all the notes on the right-hand side tell you what we've done every time we've come in here. You got 900 roads, you don't want to mark it on.
Yeah, when you're not in alphabetical order.
Measured, it's 1.865 is verified miles.
That goes probably to the end of the blacktop.
I'd say that's probably right.
Yeah, it used to be county all the way through.
I can't say that for sure without driving and checking it myself, but I think that's right.
That's not what it is.
Any other questions on the road list?
You say the color.
It's on here, all
Okay.
right. All right, I'd entertain a motion to consider approve the updated county road list.
I'll make the motion.
Motion have a second. Motion made second, further discussion. Hearing none, or let's see, all in favor?
Yes.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, motion carries. All right, Attorney General has sent out a new Kentucky Open Meeting and Open Records Act. Pass one down. And the way the statute reads, we're supposed to give these out. You gotta sign something saying acknowledge and receipt. So, before we leave, you gotta sign one of these today. That way I got me covered. I got one for county attorney and county clerk too, and the constables and the coroner and the jailer and everybody. All right, next item, big fun, property taxes. We've gotten our top tax rates in, sent all those out to you. Once again, the compensating rate as calculated exceeds the constitutional maximum of 50 cents a hundred, which it is down to where it's 50.7 cents per hundred. It's been 56 something that we haven't accepted that because we can't legally. And I have, last year we adopted 47.5 cents per hundred on real and 62.9 on personal. One of the things that we need to start trying to do to make it a lot simpler on all of us and everybody that pays taxes is to get those rates the same. But we can't do it all at once. The old saying goes, you eat an elephant one bite at a time. So what my proposed rates are to once again take a half percent cut down on personal and make it at 47 and reduce personal property to 50. What that's going to mean is available revenue will decline by $81,000 annually. As we look back over the years, these rates, compensating rates have been taken, and that kept increasing the amount of revenue. But we need to get that back down, and what that'll essentially do will put $81,000 back into the community, because it won't be sent to us. I can't say about the other tax districts what they'll do, but that's what we'd be doing.
It continuously drops.
Huh?
It continuously drops with this administration.
We dropped it down every single year for the last 3 or 4 years because it was 50, and we dropped it down to 47.5. I know it's not massive, but once we get real and personal together, the calculation will work a lot better. Right now, the calculation, if I take the 47 cents a hundred and put it into that formula the state uses, we should levy a rate of 65.3 on personal property. Well, that'd be a couple, 3 cents increase. I sure ain't gonna vote for that. But we need to get it down to where all of our rates are under that constitutional maximum whether or not personal is or is not included in that constitutional article, but we get it at 50 and 47. Next year, we might make them both 46 or 46 and a half or something, and have them both the same, because there's been a big variance. And the reason that we can drop the personal a lot and not the real is the real property is about 74%. I put a note there to 76, but it's 74% of our revenue comes from real. So whatever drop there is a lot more money than it is if you're looking at personal property, because it's a smaller portion. We're looking at basically 3/4 of our money comes from real estate and 25% or 1/4 comes from personal. And like I said, this right here is going to cut us out of the general fund about $81,000. But we may do every year. We'll keep making do, becoming more and more efficient, and we'll be able to make it. Budget's what I do.
Well, we have to suffer because the people suffer. I know that.
Right, we're all taking it on, and this puts money into the community. We're not pulling it out of their pockets and putting it here, and we can still provide the same service like we are now. I'd like to do a whole lot more. To do a whole lot more costs a whole lot more money, but what we're doing now is working. Again, this doesn't go into the road fund. This goes into the general fund, which has to subsidize like local government economic assistance fund that we're doing, or the co-severance money essentially, which we're not going to be getting that allotment anymore because our mine shut down. So that's gone, and general funds have to eat that cost, but we're making do. And I think, like I said, it's not significant on the real estate side, it's real significant on the personal property side. But we're making progress, we're getting both of them the same, and then we can uniformly bring them both down as much as we can over the next couple of years. Again, depending on assessments. If assessments tank, I don't know what we do. We're going to be hurt. But they stayed level. Real property went up a little. Personal property dropped significantly percentage-wise, and that's why the rates are so high. But it would be my proposal that we adopt real property at 47 cents a hundred and personal property at 50 cents a hundred. I'd entertain a motion to approve those rates.
I'll make that motion.
Got a motion, do we have a second? Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. All right, the last thing is just a little bit of housekeeping to keep things going so we can finish up this 911. We've done a short-term note with the Cyber National Bank to cover all the expenses, and we just need to renew that for an additional 6 months or until the grant is received, whichever comes first. And we need to reinstate that the authorized signers are the county judge and the county treasurer.
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion.
Second.
Have a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. No, motion carries. All right, I don't think we had any old business. Do we have any old business? All right, next item is communications. As you all have seen, we have a new secretary. I hired Teresa Watson as my executive secretary. I do that pursuant to carry out 67.711. Rate of pay stays the same as the previous. I've also hired, as far as the part-time workers that we have at the garage, hired Brady Whitaker, part-time temporary worker at $10 an hour, and just want to follow up with a motion to approve his hire. I'll make that form of motion.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second your motion. All right. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. So no, motion carries. The next thing I'd like to talk about is the census. Folks are going out door to door on the census. This month, we have increased to 0.2. That's it. We're at 44.7. First of the month was at 44.5. The state is at 66.4.
Well, we went up some before that year, wasn't it?
Yeah, but that's 0.2 is terrible. Absolutely terrible. This equates, based on the information I'm told, $2,000 per person per year that we get counted in Magoffin County. That's what it means to all the different programs. So every person that gets counted over the next census cycle is about 20 grand. And you gotta adjust for inflation, that's probably 30 grand, 40 by the time 10 years is up. We gotta get this done. People gotta do the census. And when these folks come knocking on your door, their social distance, they've been trained on that, but let them help you get the census done. We gotta get that done. Because if we don't, we're gonna lose big money. We can't keep falling backward more and more and more here. Okay, we gotta move forward. No way we can move forward is to bring more money in here. Bring more money in here, we can make more things happen. Okay. Did I have anything else? We already talked about the community center.
Mayor, you was gonna maybe get them to approve paying the blacktop before the next meeting.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. On the flex money and on the discretionary money, we're going to get reimbursed on that too. And we're going to be hit with those bills big time. And what is it, about 440 some thousand dollars that between the discretionary and the flex that we done like blacktop. We can do it and have a special call meeting and consider them, or can they authorize me to go ahead and pay the amounts that's on the flex and on the discretionary so that we can get that reimbursement in that much quicker?
Yes, they can.
All right, I'd make that in the form of a motion that we authorize the judge and the treasurer to go ahead and pay for the discretionary blacktop and the flex blacktop so that we can expedite reimbursement. And that's the form of a motion. I need a second.
Okay.
Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. Motion carries. All right. Are we getting anything else?
No, that's it.
I think I've covered everything. We've talked a long time. All right, that's all I got. All right, so this is Bucks a month, so you go first on the magic.
Yeah, the guys you're hiring, what's their purpose? Are they gonna be, gonna get to us a week cut?
Right now, what I've got is there's some boys that went back to college. I'm filling those spots with guys that can work 3 days a week. It's going to local community college. Others went to Moorhead, Eastern, or wherever, and they're doing the weed cutting, the pothole patching, and whatever. They've been building these box covers. I don't know how many bolts is in them, Keegan? 2,000 or 3,000 bolts and nuts. So we've been doing a lot of that this summer. And that's primarily the things we're doing. We haven't hired, they authorized me to hire 4 people to do the dump cleanup. We haven't got that started yet because I can't spare any of the guys at the garage right now to run equipment to do the dump cleanups. So as soon as that happens, we'll hire those 4 guys. And they're temporary part-time, $10 there.
Are we cutting weeds though every day, or with tractor, or?
The tractors are running. We're actually starting our 3rd round around the county with the sickle mowers, disc mowers. The tractor with the bush hog on it is finished up on Johnson Fork. It's been on River Creek. It's been down House Franks and 2 or 3 other roads down the way. It's on it's been on Gifford. That's where it's at now. And it's going to Spurlock, and it's going to Salt Lick, and I've got a whole list of road car people calling in. I got a couple in today. It's just a slow process. Now, one thing we have done with it, people probably noticed if they've been on other roads, we're not grubbing it to the ground anymore. We started on Johnson Fork, we went about a mile doing that, and it took 2 or 3 weeks. We'd all be out of office time we got done with that road if we done it that way. So we backed it up so that we can start trimming it down and getting it out of the way of cars and vehicles going through there. And then every time we do it, we start pushing it back and we can do a whole lot more faster. We got 2 of them. And again, just like the grader, we work on one and work mechanic on the other. So luckily we got 2 so we can rotate them in and out. There's something I always go, them booms on them, the jacks, hydraulic jacks and stuff seem to be a little more fragile than you'd think. But we're moving along. We got a lot.
He's actually making 3 rounds on each road.
Yeah, this will be the 3rd time going around the county. I don't know if that's happening. I don't know.
Yeah.
And if we've missed some, let us know, because there have been some that changed drivers and they thought the road ended here and it didn't end for another half a mile, and I've sent them right back up there. And it wasn't their fault; they just didn't know the roads. But we're trying to take care of every road that we can. Some of them we just can't do because the fence is right in the road. I wish people wouldn't do that. Can't even drive a car up down some of them. We got an electric fence right in the road or a barbed wire fence right in the road that breaks it off on creeks. We don't need that, but we can't trim over top of the fence posts and everything else.
Another question, about our bridges we're putting in the past. I've got a bridge that the water comes out of, they kind of angle a little different, and it's shooting into this guy's yard anyway, it's cut his yard out some. Can we do anything to help him with that?
On our part, where the bridge is,
Well, it's probably 25, 30 foot from the bridge, but it's angled the water right into his corner of his yard, I didn't know.
I don't know. How do we, is that a mitigation issue, you think, Rick? That's a little far for me, I think. If it's 25, 30 feet off.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that.
I don't know, just bringing it up now puts us in a bad spot. We'll discuss it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
No, that's no problem.
Yeah, but once we start getting out of our right of way,
I didn't know if our doings created a problem with.
I don't know. We'll have to tell me where it's at, and we'll go look at it, and investigate it.
Well, I'm gonna turn that over to somebody else before I get more trouble.
All right, Joe, you're next. The flex applications are in. We do have them in, and we're just waiting to hear back. We've also got 80/20 in for some more box covers. We just gotta wait on state to send those back to us.
And they confirmed that they have received them.
They confirmed receipt.
They have all the information needed.
They're not, in no big hurry to send money out right now because they don't know how much they got coming in. We usually get 65 or 67% of our road fund, I think, in August, and they're only giving us 50% this time. So they're giving us some money, but it's less and slower. We usually already had it, and now they told us, I think, late last week, that we should have our road fund money, that just general road fund money, in the next 2 weeks. So I was getting kind of worried about this Hinkle bill and all that coming through. I mean, that's gonna be a lick.
Yeah, big lick. That's all I got.
All right.
Well, I just ain't got a whole lot to say, just thank everybody for the good job they're done. Glad to have a new addition there too. I know she'll do a good job. Plenty of experience behind her, you know, so expect her to do good. And I'll keep harping on the water grant. You hear anything or know anything about that? I've actually found more places where there ain't no water in the county, so.
There's a lot of places, and the more you dig into it, the more you learn.
Yeah.
And the funding is, like I said, they want to put more into loans, want you to borrow the money to do it. A lot of the issues we got is we got folks out in extremities, and there's not enough houses per mile to qualify to get a grant because the water can't turn over. And they say it's a health issue, that the water don't turn over by so many houses. So I'm still working on it. They have a new person at the ad that's come in to do water stuff. I'm gonna be aggravating her quite a bit. Since she's my cousin, I think I can do that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna push her pretty heavy.
Well, that's one thing we need to do. We need to try to.
You've been in my office, that's on the top of my dry erase board over there. That's something that we work on and constantly, every time I talk to somebody in Frankfurt, that's what we talk about. But I keep getting that same answer that, well, there's loans out there. And you gotta pay them back if you borrow.
Yeah.
But that's the only thing I can tell you right now. That it?
The sidewalks, everything went well with that, I guess that's trying.
We got all that down. They needed it for their process so they could pay the contractor that are doing the design work. And hopefully we'll hear something from them, I think early September about looking at what their proposal is. And we'll maybe do that here and spread it out across the table where everybody can see it. That's kind of what we done before. They started right there and he went to right there.
Another thing we didn't need to forget is our cut through process.
When the legislature goes back in, we'll be down there lobbying for that and several other things, like audit bills and those kind of things. I'll have an agenda. That'll be one of them. All right. Obviously can't have enough comments from the floor. All right. Next item is executive session pursuant to KRS 61.810 subsection 1C. discussions of proposed or pending litigation against or on behalf of public agencies being the Magoffin Fiscal Court. The same issue that y'all dealt with last time, involved a family member of mine. Ethically, I cannot be involved. Number one, it would be right. Number two, it's against our ethics code. So it's up to you all whether y'all consider it. I have no say in it. But in order to go into executive session, you all have to make the motion.
I'll make the motion, one, take it to session.
We have a motion, we have a second.
Yeah, I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'm no voting. All right, motion carries. I'll be outside. Let me go. Okay.
Your second,
Second.
Yeah, second.
all in favor?
All in favor? Aye. We're gonna table this till, for further consideration and discuss it the next fiscal.
No action was taken.
No action is taken on this tonight. Is, adjournment?
Sweet.
We're back in regular session now.
All right. What action was taken?
No action was taken.
No action taken?
Table to the next meeting.
Okay. All right, entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make the motion.
Motion made, is there a second? Made and second. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion